Welcome to Trident Astrology. I'm Janine Kane. Today I'm going to be going over the July weekly forecast for the 5th through the 11th. So the energies this week are kind of a mixed bag, really. We have kind of this sense of like foggy mindedness, but we have a very heart-based energy this week. We kind of are going to feel like we just want to go nestle up in our beds and just relax and be in bed all week. So the main energies that I'll be looking at too is the Mercury infused energies with Mercury-Pluto Quincunx, which is going exact on the 8th, and then the Mercury-Neptune Square, which is going exact on the 6th, and it's forming a T-square to Mercury, and that's going to be kind of creating difficulty in concentration and focus. It's going to kind of create a challenge to finish things on time. I'm also going to be looking at a very Venusian infused energy with the Venus-Saturn opposition, which is going exact on the 6th, and it was forming a T-square to Uranus, and these energies are going to be pervading all week, by the way. Also, I'll be looking at the Venus-Uranus Square, which is also part of that T-square to Uranus. And so this is going to be creating challenges to express ourselves authentically, but diplomatically. Also, we're going to be looking at the Venus-Chiron Trine, which is going exact on the 7th, and it's forming a Grand Fire Trine between the South Node and Juno, and this Grand Fire Trine is following all energetically through the week, and it's really promoting healing in our relationships. We also, this week, we have a new moon in Cancer at 18 degrees and 2 minutes, and this is a very nurturing new moon. This is about nurturing the process of change and nurturing the will to create. We also have a mental shift of energy where Mercury is entering into Cancer from Gemini, and this conveyance shifts the mental energy to a more sensitive and intuitive energetic. So let's get started. Okay. So I'm going to start by looking at this Mercury and Pluto Quincunx that is going exact Thursday, July 8th, which is today, the day I'm recording this. And this is going exact at 25 degrees and 47 minutes of Gemini and Capricorn. So because quincunxes are such challenging energies, our many thoughts, that's the Mercury and Gemini here, have more difficult time organizing and integrating information. The quincunx energy here is going to require us to take our time with projects and remember that all things are an ebb and flow, and our time schedule is not necessarily the universe's time schedule. So with this dynamic, it's going to teach us to be patient and thoughtful when we're gathering our thoughts and trying to make sense of things. So if we take our time and not rush into wanting to know all the answers, which is very much Mercury and Gemini, they will come via strenuous and determined effort. Okay, now Mercury is getting infused this week with quite a few various energies before Mercury's entry into Cancer on Sunday. So the energies include the Mercury and Pluto Quincunx I just talked about, but also a Neptune Mercury square, which actually went exact on Tuesday at 23 degrees and 10 minutes of Gemini and Pisces. And as we can see here, there is a T-square here to Mercury with Vesta in Virgo opposing Neptune in Pisces, and each of these planets squaring Mercury in Gemini, which is creating the T-square to Mercury. So with this T-square to Mercury, it's not going to be easy to concentrate this week. Our minds might be slipping into daydreams, which is that Neptune energy, or a desire for escapism, so be careful of that. It's best to try to stay grounded. That's that beautiful Virgo energy that we can try to tap into. We want to follow our healthy routines and daily regimens to avoid mental exhaustion this week. Also, this week will require more attention to meditational practices and practicing mental relaxation when that is possible. All right, moving on. So last week we had Mars, let's pull this up here. We had Mars infusing itself into this Uranus T square and into this Grand Fire Trine. This week, we have Venus joining in the mix with the Saturn-Uranus square, forming a T square to Uranus. And Venus is also forming a Grand Fire Trine with the Chiron, and the South Node in Juno. Venus represents the psychological need for predictability, stability, security, and pleasure. Venus rules Taurus. Taurus is one of the most stable signs. So it's Venus is also very relationally oriented, and it's also represents our values and our ethics. So Venus in Leo tends to want to play it safe when it comes to creative expression, with a tendency to seek approval and belonging before radical autonomous expression. So with Venus-Uranus square, that goes exact today, July 8th, at 14 degrees and 4 minutes of Leo and Taurus, and this happens twice a year. And with the Uranus opposing Saturn in Aquarius, that went exact on Tuesday, July 6th, at 12 degrees and 1 minute of Leo and Aquarius, forming a T square to Uranus. We're going to be challenged to express ourselves authentically, but diplomatically. So we're going to be challenged to express ourselves without overstepping the boundaries of others. So this isn't always an easy thing to do, because our needs and values do not always match the needs and values of others. So there's a tension for growth here to learn how to cooperate and express ourselves without overstepping others' boundaries. So that's that T square energy. Now, Venus is also trining Chiron this week. It goes exact, well, it went exact on Wednesday, July 7th at 12 degrees and 54 minutes of Leo and Aries. So this is forming a Grand Fire Trine with Juno conjunct the South Node, which actually went exact this week as well. So this energetic configuration provides great opportunities for intense growth and healing in our relationships, as better understanding and cooperation marks the energy for this week. So very Venetian energy. So let's move forward here. On Friday, and that's going to be tomorrow, and let me pull that chart up. On Friday, July 9th, we have a new moon at 18 degrees and 2 minutes of Cancer, where the moon and sun are conjunct. This new moon is about nurturing the process of change and nurturing the will to create, and I'll show you why. So new moons are about new beginnings. With the energies involved here, the new moon is going to be a wonderful time to actualize the envisioned goals that you have for yourself. The energies are very conducive for developing new routines and following through via reinforcement to make the positive changes you want to make in your life. Where this new moon falls in your chart is the area of life that is ready for actualization. So let's take a look here. This moon and sun conjunction at 18 degrees of Cancer is making a soft sextile to Uranus. Now the Sun-Uranus sextile went exact at 13 degrees and 15 minutes of Cancer and Uranus on Monday, the 5th. So Uranus infused its energy into the sun just before this new moon in Cancer that is occurring on Friday. And this sextile is remaining in a soft sextile between the moon and sun conjunction here. So the two constellations involved here are Cancer and Taurus. And they work well together because Taurus is stable and secure energy, promoting the nurturing and comfort needs of Cancer. However, with Uranus and Taurus, the energies of the unpredictable, changeable, and the erratic come into the mix, where safety and security and comfort are the main goals. So there's a challenge here a bit. However, the sextile aspect is an energy of excitation and promotes growth. So the aim of this energy is a growth potential for nurturing the process of change. It is often very difficult to create change or adjust to change in our lives. Old habits die hard. That's the motto here of Taurus. And it's natural to resist change. And when we have goals in our life, actualizing the needed changes can be challenging because our old routines and habits feel safe. And both Cancer and Taurus want safety and security. Change requires patience, which Taurus is very good at, and the will to create. Okay, so let's take a look at the second energetic here, the second energetic goal of this new moon, which is nurturing the will to create. So the Moon and Sun conjunct are semi-sextile here to Mars in Leo. Basically, the Moon and Sun in Cancer is about nurturing, and the Mars in Leo is the will to create. A semi-sextile is 30 degrees separation between two signs and can be considered a developmental conveyance. So in other words, the sign preceding the other can be considered a developmental prerequisite to the other. In this case, the conveyance moves from Cancer to Leo. So it moves from Cancer, the need to belong, to be nurtured, to be safe and secure. It moves to Leo, the need to form healthy self-esteem, to feel special, and to meet creative potential. So Cancer to Leo conveyance involves meeting our creative potential after first developing a base of a sense of safety and belonging in the world and forming a healthy, nurturing self-esteem. Maslow's hierarchy of needs exemplifies this dynamic of developmental conveyance here very well. To actualize our potential means meeting our basic needs. Cancer is our needs for security and then and belonging and love. And the Leo is the feeling of being accomplished, and it's the need for prestige. So this new moon is very conducive time for manifesting the change that we want to make in our lives. It promotes creating a new routine. It encourages patience and perseverance as we make positive and constructive changes. This new moon advises adapting to change via reinforcement and creative willpower. So here's that Maslow's hierarchy of needs. As we can see here, we have to have our safety and belonging needs, which is Cancerian, so we can move to our self-esteem needs, to prestige and feelings of accomplishment, so we can manifest our self-actualization goals. And this new moon is so much about that because of this semi-sextile, which is kind of bringing in that conveyance between Cancer and Leo. Okay, let's also take a look here. The Moon and Sun conjunction is forming a soft square to Chiron. As such, any one of us that have a woundedness, which is Chiron, which is the wounded healer. So any of us who have a woundedness to our self-esteem or feelings of lack of belonging, this is a great time also to heal that and figure out ways that we can heal that for ourselves. So while I'm not 100% certain about this, I do believe we're here on this planet to learn how to love ourselves, to learn how to love others, and to manifest our potential. And we do that in relationship with ourselves and others. So this conveyance here this Cancer Leo conveyance here, and this square to Chiron absolutely represents that. Okay, moving forward on to Sunday. So on Sunday, July 11th, Mercury, let me find Mercury here is going to be moving from Gemini, entering into Cancer. So Mercury fundamentally represents thinking, communicating, and reasoning. It's where we focus our mental energy. And so whilst it was in Gemini the last few weeks, our minds were focused on mental abstractions, gathering and organizing information. On the shadow side, it could have brought feelings of hyperactivity, nervousness, and mental distraction. Now, as we convey from Gemini into the nurturing sign of Cancer, our thoughts and mental focus will be more emotionally based, concerned with emotional security, belonging, and nurturance. So our minds will work more sensitively, more intuitively, and more perceptively. So really good too with that Grand Fire Trine in our healing and our relationships. Our minds are going to be moving toward that Cancerian, nurturing, cooperative kind of essence. So that's going to be very helpful for that. We do want to be mindful with the moon entering into Cancer for potential misperceptions based on emotional triggers and emotional hypersensitivity. So don't take things too personal this week, and be aware of emotionally charged overthinking. So as we can see here too, Mercury is trining Jupiter here in Pisces. This is going to be going exact next week, so I'll talk more about that next week. However, this dynamic is infused in expansion of empathy and spirituality into the mind as Mercury is entering into Cancer. So, future highlights. Next week, I'll be looking at Jupiter-Mercury Trine. That will be going exact on the 12th. I'll be looking at Venus-Mars conjunction. I'll be looking at Pallas Athena going retrograde. On the 15th, I'll be looking at Sun-Neptune Trine, Chiron going retrograde, and Venus-Neptune Quincunx. So we got some introversion going on here, some introverted energy going on. We also enter into our quarter moon phase with the moon waxing square in Libra and Cancer. Also on the same day, Sun-Pluto will be in opposition. So that's going to probably create some challenge there. Challenge to growth and transformation. Also be looking at Venus-Pluto Quincunx, Mercury-Saturn Quincunx, and Mars-Neptune Quincunx. Wow, some challenging energy next week at the end of the week there. So I really appreciate you joining me for another Trident Astrology Weekly Forecast, and I look forward to you joining me next week. Blessings and love.